Welcome to Unbroken Ones, where we are broken by sin and unbroken by Him. I am Kevin.
I'm Devin.
I'm Chris.
Yeah, and we are on, I believe this is episode 3. Correct? 3?
Yep. Correct, my good sir.
Awesome. Yeah, so this episode I think is possibly one of the most important episodes that we're gonna have. It is simply Jesus, the greatest friend, and why we feel like Jesus is the greatest friend that anyone could ever have. Obviously, Jesus' death, burial, and resurrection obviously is the culmination of the Christian faith, right? Like if that event did not occur, then all of this Bible and everything from Genesis to Revelation means nothing. Can we all agree with that?
Yeah, I'd give you that one.
I guess I'll start by asking, the question on the floor is, why do you guys feel like Jesus, in his death, his burial, and his resurrection, that's obviously what this is all about. Why do you guys feel like that cements, the fact that he's the greatest friend, that anyone could ever have? Or what do you guys feel is significant about that event? Or anything?
Or a friend to go through that kind of sacrifice, knowing just the beating and the brutality and violence that would come before him, just to give us freedom and salvation, makes him just the greatest friend in my book. Because my friends wouldn't do that for me.
Amen.
Thinking of when Jesus says in John, greater love has no one than this, that someone lays down their life for their friends.
Exactly, yeah.
So, he did that for us, but he was also willing to spend time alone with his disciples, training them. He was willing to set an example for them, teach them. He was willing to wash the feet of his disciples. Mm-hmm. Peter was like, "Oh, surely not, Lord. You will never wash my feet." Jesus says, "If I don't wash your feet, you have no part with me." And then Peter says, "Well, then give me a huge bath." And Jesus is like, "You're missing the point. I want to set an example of being a servant, because the greatest among you is the one who is a servant." And he's basically modeling friendship in that friend should serve his friend, should lay down his life, should be willing to make himself lower than his friends. Like it's not a competition. Friends, we can get competitive about, I don't know, maybe having nice shoes or playing games or being good at basketball. I don't know, whatever, fill in the blank. Ultimately, that's not what friendship is. Friendship can include that, little friendly competition, to reuse the word friend, but it's really more about loving each other. Friendship is based around that. If God is love, if Jesus was meant to show us what God's love looks like, then it makes sense that he would be the greatest friend. He would be the greatest at loving us.
Yeah.
Like just in, Christ's time and Christ's walk, whether we deny him 3 times, whether, we even betray him, to know that Christ still loves us the same, no matter what. He's still by our side, and he's, hasn't forsaken us, never will, never has. And will, it will remain that way just forever. And just to have a friend that's there through, like the tough times are one thing, but in times where we wrong a friend, it's easy to push that friend away. And for him to say, okay, like I'm stepping back, you hurt me, in this way, more or less. But Christ says, no, I still love you. In fact, I'm going to walk even closer to you in this time where you're, where instead of me saying I'm hurt and repressing, I'm just going to give you love and, show you the same love that God feels for you. just every second. Another reason why he's just, I would definitely call him the greatest friend.
Amen.
I guess in our regular human relationships, when we're hurt by someone, it's hard to draw close. So, I mean that's just how it is. It's just how we are as human beings. So, God, the fact that He always meets us where we are, and He goes through the storm with us. He loves us even though we're still sinners. Especially when we're sinning against Him directly. Maybe our sin isn't affecting anybody else. That just goes to show that Jesus really is the greatest friend, that, while we were still sinners, He died for us. And He even said, when He was on the cross, He said, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." That's just love right there.